strongly determined. Fiercely competitive. Beating the Philippines, the queen of SEA Games basketball, and many strong opponents in the region. For the first time ever, Vietnam women's basketball team made it to the SEA Games 3-on-3 final and collected the first ever silver medal in 3-on-3 women's basketball for Vietnam.
The performance and tireless efforts of the Vietnamese women in the basketball team 3-on-3 has won the love of many audience here in Vietnam. Our girls are just one step away from the gold medal and the bronze medal of the 5-on-5. However, what they did is truly amazing. They have changed the narrative of Vietnamese women's basketball team in the region. And how did they do it? Let's welcome them here for the very first time on the stage of Top Vietnam, our 4 golden girls of women basketball 3-on-3. Captain Huỳnh Ngoan, Trương Twins, Trương Thảo My and Trương Thảo Vy, and AD Trần Thị Anh Đào. Everybody! First of all, thank you very much for joining us today, and congratulations on the victory of the Vietnamese women's basketball 3-on-3. We won the silver medal. So, how did you feel about that?
Trước tiên là xin chào tất cả mọi người đã có mặt ngày hôm nay. Riêng bản thân Ngoan thì 8 huy chương lần này đối với Ngoan thì là một cái mà Ngoan đang mong chờ và chờ đợi rất là lâu rồi. Lần này là lần tham gia SEA Games lần thứ 5 đối với em, thì năm nào thì em cũng mong có được huy chương. Riêng năm nay thì lần đầu tiên em chạm được tới cái tấm huy chương thì em cảm thấy rất là vui và cũng như rất là hạnh phúc. Em nghĩ rằng đây là một kỷ niệm không bao giờ em quên được. Dạ, cảm ơn.
5 lần tham dự SEA Games. How do you feel, AD?
I feel really thankful and blessed that we were able to bring home a silver medal to Vietnam, and to bring it back with these group of young women right next to me is really meaningful. Especially knowing how much Wang has dedicated her, basketball career to Vietnam. For us to have a medal for her and the country it's amazing. So I feel really thankful and blessed.
What about the Chương teams?
I'm super grateful. To reiterate what AD said, we couldn't have done it with a better group of girls. It's definitely an honor to bring a medal back to Vietnam. Lynn and I have always dreamed about it and talked about it. To make it a dream come true is all that I can ask for.
Yeah, I'm also grateful. Thank you for being here, showing out and showing support to us. I want to thank my parents. First of all, just because we wouldn't be here without them. And with this opportunity, I know y'all put in the time, the effort, and the money just to put us where we're at right now and just become the player and the person we are. I thank you for that, Mom, Dad.
Vietnam, some people say that if Vietnam got the medal, then it's fairy tale. But at the end, it's the progress that is what matters. What do you think about this? We made a huge step forward after SEA Games 31st, right?
I definitely agree with what you said. It's not about the result, it's about the progress, and it's about the company. So if you look at the numbers in 2017 with the 5x5, we really made big jumps. I mean, the numbers really tell the story itself. But I think I can speak on behalf of these ladies too, that we are progressing forward in women's basketball in Vietnam, and it sure feels great. Even though we didn't get the result we wanted, we know that it'll get there. It'll get there. We just have to keep working hard and working together, playing together, and really believing that we can bring home a medal in the 5x5.
I want to go back a little bit to understand what brought you guys all together to play for Vietnam.
Lynn and I have always talked about it ever since we were little, just being able to go back to the motherland and represent. Didn't think it was possible, didn't think we'd get the opportunity to, but our parents always told us to never forget where we came from. Being in touch with our roots is what was definitely important to us. Being able to stay connected to that identity, that Vietnamese side of us was super important.
We got a message and they reached out to us wondering if we could possibly play for the national team. And when we first got the message, I was very excited. But when we got that message, it was our freshman year of college. And with like COVID and everything and summer workouts, it kind of overlapped with SEA Games. So then we lost contact, and then our junior year got reached out again, told us that it was hosted in Vietnam, and I thought, everything was falling into place. Grateful that they put together this team. It's like a once-in-a-lifetime thing, for sure.
Most of everybody here knows, and maybe they don't know, that I stopped playing basketball in 2017. I just finished my college career and I finished playing professionally overseas in Germany, and I thought, I'm getting old, so no more basketball. So initially, I was reached out to in 2017 and lost contact, like what Lynn said, for a couple of years, and then was reached out to again. And after that, I thought, wow, what an opportunity to reconsider putting back on my basketball shoes and compete for something bigger than myself. And that's for the country. And I mean, learning that the twins were potentially, going to be part of this too, I just was like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to hoop with, two of the best in the world. And I say that and I mean that. And so it didn't really take much for me to say, yeah, I'm all in.
So this is the first time that the Chương twins you come to Vietnam and play for Vietnam. So many of the audience here are very curious about you and how you got introduced to basketball. Can you share with us about that?
We got a funny story on how basketball was introduced to us. We didn't know what basketball was, but our dad loved playing, and he had some basketballs laying in the garage. When we were younger, we were just running around in the house, and Lee went out in the garage and tripped over a basketball, fell, and she was like, I'm never playing basketball ever again.
Who tripped over the basketball?
But just to stay active, our parents put us into a little league, and we started playing around 5 years old, but we didn't get serious until middle school because we learned that we could go to college and help our parents out with college because college isn't cheap.
So my dad was approached by one of the coaches and asked him if we were going to take it any further than the little leagues because we had potential to get a college scholarship. And we didn't know anything about earning a college scholarship. We didn't know that was even a thing. So like Lynn said, when we learned that we could do that. We wanted to help our parents out. They've dedicated so much time and energy into helping us become the player we are, become the person we are. And so to help pay them back, although they do deserve the world, and I can't necessarily, I feel like I can't pay them back. I want to help them in any way I can. So we worked so hard to try to get a college scholarship, just continue our free education. I would love to continue playing basketball for as long as I can because I've grown to love the game so much that it's become a part of who I am. And just a chance to meet a lot of different people from different backgrounds and learn about their stories too.
Kelly or Thảo My and Kaylin or Thảo Vy have already made a name for themselves in the U.S. basketball community. The Vietnamese-American twin sisters were born to Vietnamese-American parents in Texas, home to 3 prestigious basketball teams. It's no surprise that the Trương twins have loved basketball since they were little.
Thường mấy em học về thì chú dẫn quay công viên cho chơi vòng vòng, đạp xe đạp, thấy thích chơi thì chú ngày xưa cũng có chơi là anh em thôi, chứ không có chơi trong trường. Thì chú biết cái gì chỉ cho nó, rồi thấy nó mơ mơ thì bắt đầu từ từ cái mỗi lần đi tập thì chú chở đi. Thì Thiếm nếu mà có rảnh thì Thiếm cũng chở đi. Lúc nào chú cũng có mặt ở sân banh hết. Một mùa xong rồi thấy hai đứa nó cũng thích đấy. Xong rồi mấy người thầy cũng nói hai đứa này có tiến bộ trong cái môn này. Thì chú cũng hỏi nó thích không thì thấy nó thích.
The twins' talent was spotted by the sporting director of the Vietnam Basketball Federation when he watched the twins play in the high schools in Houston.
I reached out to the parents of the twins and just began a dialogue. And most of that entailed an introduction to the national team. Right away, I could sense that they were very proud Vietnamese. The twins were both born in the States, but raised in a Vietnamese culture household. So instantly, that connection to Vietnam was there. So it made those discussions very promising to begin with. They give the twins the ability to make their own choices, but they provide the right amount of parental guidance to be able to make good choices. Without them, there's no way that the twins would be here. So really a lot of credit goes to them on many levels.
How was your training in primary and high school, and also your years playing in Jersey Village, right? And also in NCAA Division I, it's like one of the top level of college basketball, right?
Oh yes, it's very competitive. I recently wrote an article about how we've been, I guess, discriminated against just because they think we're small and unathletic. So it was pretty hard growing up playing basketball with me and Lee and being Vietnamese in a predominantly.
How tall are you? How tall are you two?
I'm 5'8", 5'8" and she's 5'9". Okay.
So 1 inch taller.
Over in America, it's like average for 6 foot guard. But yeah, so it was pretty hard growing up playing basketball, just with me and Lee, and not having a lot of Asian representation, especially on the women's side. So it was very competitive. I know each and every day we went outside on concrete with our dad. It was so bad to the point where we had bad farmer tans because it was so hot outside. Every single day we put in work just to try and compete at the highest level as we possibly could. And then again, be that representation that we didn't have growing up.
Câu hỏi này là muốn dành cho Ngoan. Là đội trưởng ấy thì chắc chắn là Ngoan là một thủ lĩnh tinh thần và trị cả cho cả team rồi. Thế thì Ngoan nghĩ như thế nào về khả năng chuyên biệt của từng thành viên một ở trong đội của mình, và bạn hiểu đến đâu khả năng của các bạn?
Riêng Ngoan thì Ngoan cảm thấy khả năng của mỗi người sẽ có một khả năng khác nhau, nhưng mà riêng My với lại Vy á thì theo em thấy là kiểu như đánh banh hai người có giác quan thứ 6 vậy á. Đánh banh thứ 6. Dạ. Không cần biết, cứ người này đột vô là kiểu như là biết chắc chắn người còn lại ở đâu để truyền ra gì á. Thì còn ID thì là một người thì chậm hơn. ID luôn luôn giúp đỡ cũng như là động viên tất cả các người trong đội. Em nghĩ đó là của từng người.
Yeah. I would like to think it's intuition. We could have a superpower just between me and you. But truthfully, I think it's because we grew up playing together forever. So I think just the chemistry that you build with the team and the chemistry that we have now, if plus 10, that's mainly. So yeah, I think it's just playing together.
Ngoan just talked about your strength. So what do you think about hers?
Chị Ngoan sợ không? She brings so much to the table. I think the thing that really touches me the most is how hard she works. She's probably the hardest worker I've ever met. And her basketball skills is just a plus. Her leadership is what people recognize off the bat. And she's able to communicate with every single person on team.
You three speak English, right? And Ngoan speak Vietnamese. So how did you guys communicate?
Growing up in a Vietnamese household, our grandma speaks Vietnamese to us all the time. Our parents do too. Vietnamese was actually our first language, and it's one thing that I personally regret going into school and learning English. We spend 8 hours a day in school, so we're speaking English to our peers majority of the day. But it wasn't hard for us to understand Chị Ngoan. I mean, for her just flat out just speak Vietnamese to us, then we understand her. I think it's just being able to talk back to her and being able to communicate with her. It comes with a little bit of difficulty because we struggle to process a sentence and like have a conversation with her. But I mean, you're gonna have to ask her. I didn't think there was any difficulties.
Nếu mà nói về giao tiếp thì em nghĩ là ba bạn thì đang rất là cố gắng để nói chuyện được với em. Mà Vi và My thì kiểu biết em không hiểu được tiếng Anh á, thì Vi và My cũng cố gắng nói tiếng Việt. Nhiều lúc tiếng Việt của Vi và My cũng có chen lẫn vô tiếng Anh, nhưng mà sự diễn tả với lại kiểu
thử nhá. So can three of you speak Vietnamese to Ngoan? Just say maybe some sentences so we can see how well your Vietnamese is.
The first time I met her, this is what I said. Ngoan,
dạ
khỏe không?
ha. Em khỏe, chị khỏe không?
Dạ khỏe, cảm ơn nhiều.
Trời ơi, nói giỏi nha.
Chị Ngoan ném hay quá. Chị Ngoan muốn đi uống trà sữa không?
Dễ thương. Uống.
No one would have thought that the four girls' first meetup at the ABL Pre-SEA Games Challenge 2022 in Bali, Indonesia was the beginning of a miraculous journey. They only just met, but the three Vietnamese American members got on very well with Huỳnh Ngoan in a key Southeast Asian basketball tournament.
Being able to get the Chung sisters and Anh Đào into the program out here is incredibly special because all three of those girls, they are fantastic leaders. We want to put these girls in the best position to be successful. And it's not always easy. It takes time. It takes a process. It takes many weeks of training. It takes, having to wait year to year for the next SEA Games. But these girls always come in committed. They come in with a lot of desire to come out and compete for Vietnam, to represent their country, their family, their heritage. So us as coaches just try to do everything in our power to just put them in a position to be successful.
In the group stage, Vietnam women's team faced some difficulties but won all their matches against Lure Indonesia, 14-11, Eurotech Stream, 18-15, and Team Lions, 21-13. It was a complete victory for Coach Weisling's team. In the semi-final and final, Huynh Thi-going and her teammates continued to show a consistent performance. The team beat Delhi 3BL in the semi-final and defeated the host country's team Lube Indonesia once again in the final. It was the first international title for Vietnam women's 3x3 basketball.
So now let's talk about the Bali trip. You guys didn't have much time to prepare, right? And to play with each other, right? So how did you just feel that click when you first met? And was it difficult to coordinate with each other and figure out each other's style of playing and, you know, collaborate in a game?
We're all pretty similar in mindset. We are always for the team. What can we do to help contribute to the team? It's not always about me or I. So the easiest way, I think, was if we have that mindset, we're going to come in and just play for each other. And so I think, I personally think that's what allowed us to click so easily, is because we are for each other and not for our own personal agenda, personal goals.
It was funny because the one person that was very enthusiastic about us just playing together and start playing together in Bali was Coach Eric. And he was just like, oh, it's going to be good. And I was like, we haven't even practiced, let alone meet each other. So I was like, this might be a mess. But it was funny because we had one saying, and it was, yeah, and it was just to play fun, just to have fun.
I saw a photo of the strategy of your coach, Eric. There are 3 points, right, in that strategy. First, communicate. Second, find your flow. And third, have fun. Fantastic Four, right? So what do you think about that strategy? Did it work out well for you?
I think evidently it did work out well for us because we learned how to communicate with each other on the court and off the court. We took the time off the court to get to know each other as well, and I think that translated into the game. I think that we had a lot of fun during this process and on this journey, and again, we're just super grateful to have had the opportunity to play with each other.
Right, and that very first collaboration yielded into a success, right? So how did that success mean to you guys?
We tell people all the time what happened during the Bali trip, and sometimes people don't believe us. And I can see why. It seems like a movie. I mean, all the challenges that we had to go through, first time meeting each other. You know, how can we click so well together? But to me, it was definitely a start of something great to come for Vietnamese women's basketball.
This trip was very memorable, and just to see how much, I guess, dedication Ji Wang has put in. We came together and was like, she deserves a medal, a gold medal, and just the hard work that we all put in before meeting each other, it was just, I think it just fell into place. And then seeing her cry at Bali, it pushed me, AD, and Lee to just work hard, play every single game for Ji Wang, because that's what she deserves.
Ngoan ơi, em đã khóc tại Bali. Vậy thì cảm xúc của em lúc đó như thế nào?
Điều đầu tiên mà em nghĩ là đây có phải là mơ không? Okay. Tại vì em chưa hề có cái suy nghĩ là mình sẽ được thành tích cái giải đó. Tại vì đó là lần đầu tiên mà em tham gia trên một cái đất nước khác mà đã được đem về lại được huy chương cho đất nước Việt Nam, mà lại là huy chương vàng. Thì kiểu như là nó là một cái gọi là cái mà mình không nghĩ tới mà tự nhiên nó lại tới với mình, thì em không kìm được cảm xúc lúc đó, cho nên là nước mắt em đã rơi vì cảm xúc lúc đó.
Em đã chờ bao lâu để có được chiến thắng đó?
Nếu mà nói đúng ra thì em đã là vận động viên được mười mấy năm á, thì khoảng thời gian em là vận động viên thì lúc nào em cũng mong chờ được cái khoảnh khắc đó hết. Em lúc nào em cũng nghĩ là em sẽ thể hiện hết khả năng của mình để đem về để góp phần được một chút gì đó cho đất nước Việt Nam. Và đó cũng là lần đầu tiên mà em làm được. Dạ.
Sau mười mấy năm.
Dạ.
7 teams competed in women's 3x3 basketball at the 31st SEA Games, including Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, Singapore, and Vietnam. After 4 wins and 2 losses, Vietnam ranked 3rd in the round robin and met Indonesia in the semi-final at Thanh Trì Gymnasium. Though Vietnam lost their previous match against Indonesia, this time the home team won 19-16 to reach the final. One of the highlights of the match was Thảo Vy's efforts. She fought bravely and showed comprehensive skills. Despite an injury that required medical care, Thảo Vy returned to the court in a thunderous round of applause from the audience, which also boosted the whole team's spirit. Huỳnh Ngoan demonstrated her excellent leadership. Not only was Ngoan capable of leading the team, but she could also lift everyone's sportsmanship spirit. Trần Thị Anh Đào was a true warrior in her first SEA Games with fierce moves on the court that put her at a constant risk of injuries. Trương Thảo Vy and Trương Thảo My were the main scorers. The twins were excellent in handling the ball and scoring with several successful two-pointers.
Các đội nước ngoài người ta nhìn vào đội Việt Nam là thấy sự thay đổi rõ rệt qua từng năm. Đội Việt Nam ngày xưa thì chỉ là một đất nước nhỏ, và khi mà tham gia thì mình không đặt mục tiêu cao, nhưng mà bây giờ mình đã có những cái dấu ấn thay đổi nhất định, và chưa kể là cả nước đang nhìn vào cái bóng rổ với cả một cái tâm thế khác.
The Vietnamese women's 3x3 basketball team made history this year as the first team to represent Vietnam in SEA Games final. Thailand was considered the strongest team and won all of their 6 matches in the round robin. The enthusiastic cheers from spectators at Thanh Trì Gymnasium created a lively atmosphere. The leading Southeast Asian teams were in dramatically tight race for points. From having a lower score, Vietnam managed to level the score when there were just 12 seconds left. A good defensive move nearly helped the home team force Thailand to play extra time, but a trucky shot by the opponent in the last second settled the match. Vietnam lost 19-21 to Thailand, but it was a proud achievement for the Vietnam women's basketball team as they made it to the 3x3 final for the first time.
The silver medal that the girls achieved in 3-on-3 was incredibly special. I mean, that moment, it's groundbreaking. It allows for all the women around in Vietnam. It gives them motivation for those girls that they can be part of this too in the future, to go and work on your skills and enjoy basketball. So it is historic.
All of us of Vietnamese heritage, we have some connection to our country. For Thảo Vy and Thảo My, they may have been born in America, but they have parents who are deeply connected to Vietnam and love their country, right? So, as I like to say, it's for both of them first, it's for the love of basketball and for the love of competition. But they love their heritage and culture, and they love having basketball part of it. And I think together, this team represents really a common love for Vietnam, not just Thảo Vy and Thảo My, but Tiểu Vy, Ngoan, Anh Đào, all of them. They love wearing the colors, and they love competing for each other, I think, first and foremost.
Tell us about that experience, the final game with Thailand, for both 3-on-3 and 5-on-5.
For the 3-on-3 Thailand game, me personally, I was in a lot of pain with my knee. That's why I wasn't able to take the court with the team the first three games of the 5-on-5. But all I remember was after the Indonesian game, I kept telling myself that I had to strap my leg up and play, because this is what we wanted. We're one step closer to what our goal was. And so I tried to kind of just push that out, but I've been dealing with a knee injury for as long as I can remember this year, back in the States. Obviously, we were very disappointed with how the results were, but I was very proud of how we played in the 3-on-3, how hard we fought. I personally couldn't have asked for us to fight any harder because we gave it our all. We poured our hearts into that court. With the 5-on-5, in my head, I wanted like revenge. It was like a revenge game, and I was so determined to like let's win this, because we're also playing for a medal. But we're obviously sad with the unfortunate loss, but at the end of the day, we like to think of the bigger picture of the mark that we left as a group, and the mark that will be seen for the rest of forever. We couldn't have asked for anything more.
I have almost 10 years over these two guys right here to my left and to my right. And so I've played a lot of games, and there are two ways you can leave a game, if you lose or if you win. And it's either you focus on what went wrong, or you focus on what went right and what is lasting from that. So despite the loss to Thailand in the last 5 seconds, we made a huge jump in women's basketball in Vietnam as a group, and the first time medaling as a group as well for the country. I'm really proud of our team, and I'm really thankful for the fans that were there too, because they really pushed us to a different level than we were at.
In the moment, I was upset, but 80 put it in perspective for me. In the locker room, it's bigger than winning and losing in the game of basketball. So it's like we lost, but we're still winning, because we won by just having the support of everyone there at our game, cheering for us, and then just Vietnam and all, medaling for Vietnam and all is like, we're at the end of the day, we're still winning, even if we did lose.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Đối với lại đội Việt Nam thì đều thua đội Thái Lan ở nội dung 3-3 cũng như 5-5. Thì em nghĩ là tụi em cũng đã cố gắng hết sức. Nhưng chắc có lẽ là may mắn chưa mỉm cười với tụi em. Thì đây cũng là cơ hội để tụi em cố gắng và cũng như là nỗ lực thêm nữa cho SEA Games năm sau. Yeah.
Yes. So let's talk about injuries. In the semifinals, Vi fell, right? And then we heard many of the audience chanting her name, and it's quite emotional to watch. Tell us about that moment.
This goes back to what my motivation is. It's to inspire many, and just hearing them chant my name, that made me want to get back out there for them, for my teammates too, because I know 3-on-3 is very hard just to play with 3 players and no sub. So I, despite injuries and stuff, I wanted to get out there for my teammates, for the fans chanting my name.
Were you surprised when you heard people shouting out your name?
Through the headache that I had, yeah, it was surprising, and it felt really good, because I think that was like the first time ever I've heard fans chant my name like that. So thank y'all.
Cheers filled Thanh Gymnasium as the girls advanced towards the opponent's hoop. Passionate and well-mannered, fans are always there to support their beloved bowlers.
cảm thấy rất là cháy, rất là rực lửa, rất là bất ngờ những cái pha rất là đỉnh của các chị.
Thực sự rất là tự hào, cũng rất là bất ngờ, tại vì về mặt thể chất và về mặt tinh thần và kỹ năng của các chị kiểu cũng không thua kém gì bên đối thủ ấy.
Khoảnh khắc ấn tượng nhất của trận đấu hôm nay chắc là nằm ở những giây cuối ở hiệp thứ tư, khi mà tất cả đều đang vào tay và ném được 3 điểm, những quả 3 rất là gay cấn và tăng thêm nhịp độ trận đấu rất là nhanh.
This community of supporters has expanded over the past years alongside the development of professional and non-professional basketball leagues. These days, after the Vietnamese female team made history with their first 3x3 SEA Games silver medal, basketball fans have also been living their dream. Even when the team lost in 5x5 against strong opponents, what matters for both players and their supporters is that everyone is there for each other through ups and downs in any match.
The energy is amazing. Everyone cheers for everything, no matter if it's 1 point or 3 points. I love the drum. It gets everyone involved, and it's just so fun to be here.
Now the floor is open to the audience.
Hello everyone, my name is Chang. All of the teams, women and men, are many of my heroes and many bowlers' hero. So my question is, what is all of your heroes and who is the most inspire you to basketball?
Who are your role models?
Not towards basketball, but my role models has always been my parents. They've always worked so hard just to provide a better life for me, my sister, and my brother. So to see that, I want to, repay them as much as I can. They deserve the world, and I hope one day I could give it to them. I also want to say thank you to my brother. He's sacrificed so much, just being in the gym with us every single day, the time that he has to take off to take care of our grandma. He's done so much, and he's done like the little things that matter. That I hope that he'll be able to come with us the next time. Huge shout out to Grandma watching back home. She's been our supporter since day one, and she's watched all of our games. So, hi Grandma.
Okay, and I can see that your parents are sitting right there. Would you like to say something to your daughters now?
I'm so mixed with emotions. I'm so proud of, not only Lee and Lynn, but I'm so proud of all of the young ladies on the team. They've been so wonderful, and, they have such heart and such dedication, which the girls have already expressed. So thank you for allowing us to come on this journey with you. I'm gonna cry, but yeah. Continue to strive for greatness, because you can do it. Believe in yourself, and just keep doing good things. Okay.
Basketball has become a favorite sport for many young people in Vietnam. Many schools are teaching basketball in their sport curriculum. There are many basketball courses for future athletes and referees. From competing in non-professional tournaments, many teams have registered their home stadiums and recruit their own managers. Female teams are increasingly well-managed and professional, but remain as high-spirited and passionate.
Mình nghĩ là đây sẽ là một cái động lực rất là lớn cho người làm bóng rổ, người chơi bóng rổ, người xem bóng rổ, và bản thân nó là cái đòn bẩy để mọi người cùng nhìn vào bóng rổ nữ vẫn đang phát triển, bóng rổ nữ sẽ phát triển, nó rất là tiềm năng, và bản thân là mình nghĩ là đây cũng sẽ là một cái tín hiệu tốt để bóng rổ nữ ở Hà Nội nói riêng và ở Việt Nam nói chung nhận được nhiều những cái quan tâm hơn, nhận được nhiều sự hỗ trợ hơn.
I'm super excited to see, our women compete in so many sports on the highest level. And these achievements are all just steps to a bigger goal. If I just use basketball, nobody expected Japan to win the silver medal at the last Olympics, but their women's team did. And I think we should have similar ambitions. I think Vietnam and our women's team and our men's team should be able to start competing at a very high level, not only in Asia, but hopefully in global competitions in the near future. If I look back 10 years, very few people played basketball in Vietnam versus today. And I know as I look 10 years forward, we're going to have some of the best teams in this region.
The sport of basketball was more popular with the men, so that's where we put a lot of emphasis at first. When we have some momentum and some success, then it was time to devote more attention and resources to the women's side. So I see the pathway is very similar, which is our overseas Vietnamese are what helped us in our initial steps for the men's side, and that's the similar type of strategy that we're just starting for the women's side as well. With my role as the CEO of the ABL, not just with the Saigon Heat team, and then also with our discussions with the Southeast Asia Basketball Association, SIABA, we have a plan to get our girls into international competition, and then from there we'll have many more activities, probably many more competitions inside of Vietnam, perhaps initially in 3-on-3. So yes, it's look for it. It's coming in the next year.
Let's talk about future plan.
It's a great start for Vietnam basketball, and I hope we continue to inspire everyone to work hard, to play, and hopefully maybe we'll even qualify for the Asia Cup in the incoming future. But like I said, this is a great start to something that can be built upon.
So would you be back to play anytime soon?
Education comes first. So we're going to finish off our schooling to see if our schedule fits and if we do get an opportunity and get invited back. So to be determined.
Em sẽ cố gắng phấn đấu hơn nữa, nỗ lực hơn nữa và cháy hết mình hơn nữa để làm động lực cũng như thúc đẩy tất cả các tiềm năng trẻ của giới hiện nay. Thì em thấy tiềm năng trẻ của giới hiện nay hiện đang cũng rất là mạnh, cũng đang rất là phát triển. Thì em tin rằng bóng rổ Việt Nam của chúng ta sau này sẽ đạt được nhiều thành công hơn. Em đang chuẩn bị tinh thần sẵn vào SEA Games năm tới.
SEA Games năm tới. Tháng 5.
I think after the last month of really showing the country where women's basketball can go, I'm hoping that more investments will be made into the youth programs for girls here, and that starts at the fundamental level, right? That starts at a young age, and I'm not sure at what age Vietnamese girls here have the opportunity to play, but I hope that it's as young as when these twins started, which was 5 years old. If investments are made with the youth, with the girls, then I mean, there's no stopping where women's basketball can go in Vietnam. We'll just keep going up and up and up and up and up. But we've got to have the people, to really invest their time and energy and efforts into that, so that we can hope for a better future for women's basketball in Vietnam.
Thank you for everyone who's showing us support, followed along with us, and hopefully we continue to grow as a basketball community and strive for greatness, like my mom said.
Tình cảm cũng như tình thương mà tất cả mọi người dành cho Ngoan cũng như đồng đội, đó là một tình cảm không nói hết được bằng lời. Hẹn các bạn vào SEA Games năm sau sẽ thấy chúng tôi mạnh mẽ hơn.
Well, that has brought us to the end of this edition of Talk Vietnam, and on behalf of all of the audience here in Vietnam and all over the world, I would like to say thank you to all of our girls here for letting us live the wonderful moments of SEA Games 31st. And we know that the best is yet to come. So we wish you all the best for the future. And we hope that we will see you accompany Vietnam and Vietnamese basketball in the future. Thank you so much.